Hello friends, I am Hardik Patel. Welcome back to Django tutorial. In last video we uploaded a whole source code of application which we have built throughout the series to the GitHub. And in this video we are going to host the same application to the Ubuntu server. So to learn this, what you need, that is Ubuntu server. If you don't have any remotely available, or maybe if you have already installed in your system instead of Windows, or if you don't have all those things, then you can install VirtualBox and then just install the Ubuntu system in your VirtualBox. Okay, so this is just for learning purpose, because anyway if you are hosting the main web application on any server, then you will have definitely that Ubuntu server. So to host Ubuntu server application, you just need source code available on any Git service like GitHub, Bitbucket, anywhere, and then you just need to SSH the server, so which I have already done. Okay, so if I just see that if config, this is my IP address, public IP address, the same IP address which I have used to do the SSH. Okay, so that IP address we are going to use for accessing our web application after hosting. Next thing, you should have the source code available in this server. So to do that, we are going to use Git, because we have already pushed all the source code to the GitHub. So to do that, just use the git clone command, and I have already added commands here like git clone and the URL which you will find here in your repository, clone with HTTPS. Okay, now I'm going to just pull the source code here. That is done. Okay, now I'm going to decide, which I have already enabled, and also I'm going to remove that so I can explain better, because I just do the same before explaining something. EMS sites available, ems.conf. Okay, so the source code is available now here. If you'll see, the EMS folder is created, that just cd to that folder, EMS and ls. Okay, now I will explain two things. Like, this is the thing, this wsgi file which is actually helpful to connect with Apache server, web server. This wsgi itself actually helps to connect with web, right? So just keep in mind that wsgi file should be there inside your main app. Then this is the configuration file which I have built for Apache, right? So this is just listening all the requests with port number 88. So whatever IP we just saw, that using if config command, right? Let me close this. Okay, so that if config this IP and then colon and port address which we have used, 88. Okay, so this is the template which you can use in your project as well. This is publicly available on my ArrowTech GitHub repo. Okay, so account, and just what you need to do, you need to just change these values like which we have which I have created in Angular bracket. Okay, so we are going to do that practical as well. So I'm just explaining what we are going to do first. Then this static folder, and these are the static folder which we have built here, css and custom.css. But when you run any admin, when you run a server like this, python main.py and run server, right? So it actually serves all the things available in our project. Okay, this is also I'm going to explain, just don't worry. So all the static files are coming from admin's application, similar to this poll application. So let's say, for example, if I have created static folder inside the poll application as well, for static files related to poll application only, right? And what we are going to use Apache server to serve these static files. Look at this section /static and then static folder path. It is accepting only one path. And in our project, if we have multiple applications and all applications has static folder, how to do that, right? So to handle all the applications itself one path, Django itself provides one command, that is collect static, similar to create super user, similar to migrate, similar to run server, right? So what you need to do, just use this command collect static. Okay, so we are going to do that as well. Okay, and what is this error? Actually, this allowed host. So let me go to the settings, EMS, and then settings. Okay, so this is the allowed host variable parameter is available, that is for just giving access to specific IP address, or right, localhost. If you don't provide anything, by default access is available to localhost and 127.0.0.1. but if you are hosting the application on any web server or any remote Ubuntu server, then definitely you need to provide access to any host which you are going to use, right? So in our case, actually I don't remember, or maybe whatever the case, I don't want to provide specific IP address, then we can use like this, in single quote star. Star means it will allow all host, all the IP addresses. Okay, so this is done. One more thing I know I'm going to explain, that is static URL. So if you provide this is actually accepting URL, but if you pass this like this in single quote only static, then what it will do, when you run that collect static command, it will automatically take this EMS project folder, sorry, not this overall folder, and it will create this static folder, and inside that all the files will be added from all different applications. Like admin is the application, so it was automatically created admin, and then inside the CSS fonts and everything, right? So now I can give the same path to our configuration file here, right? Same way for media folder, you can have also the settings for that, media URL and media root. So all the settings are now done. Now let's proceed here. So source code is available, Apache is installed, we have also template is available, but now there are two things you need to do here. One, you need to run the you need to create a virtual environment here. Second, you need to install all the requirements like Django package itself, all the Python packages we have mentioned inside the requirements.txt. Third, you need to migrate the migration file to the database which you are using. In our case, we are using SQLite. Fourth, you need to collect the statics, collect all the static files. There are 4 steps you need to follow here for just running the project. Okay, so let's do that. So deactivate, which is my old virtual environment. So to do that, use this virtual environment binary, just give which you Python want to use, like Python 3. Okay, so I just forgot to give the path or virtual environment name, so that is venv. So virtual environment is created. Now let's activate that. Activated. Now I just, so first step is ready. Now second step, install all the requirements which we have mentioned inside the requirement.txt file. Okay, done. Third step, you need to migrate the database, as we are using SQLite. Okay, the same issue which we had in a local system, but we corrected that, right? But we haven't pushed that change to the server. So right now, as of now, I'm just making change here itself. Just you can say here, say that the hotfix. So that you should not do actually. Always follow the process, like just change any file, commit that, just and same thing we should pull that, right? Now let's migrate. So migration is done. Now last step is collect static. Now project is running. If you will see that python main.py, then run server, and if you want to check, just use this 0 colon and then whatever I port number is there. Okay, so it is running now, and to check that you just give the same name, IP address, and just refresh this. Okay, so this is my IP, the port is there, it is running. Okay, but all the requests are serving from here itself, but that we don't want to do. We want to host this application through Apache, because Apache can serve these static files directly by himself, right, by itself. We don't need to have a load of all the static files to the Django application. Apache can itself serve, right? So to do that, just close this. Now application is running, so we don't need to worry about anything here. Okay, now we have the configuration file is available as a template, so you just need to copy that cp and apache 2 etc apache 2. So in all the configuration always available inside the etc folder. So etc apache 2 sites available, so all the sites are available, all the configuration will be available inside the sites available folder. So now our project name is ems, so I am putting just ems.conf. okay, now let's open it and change whatever we need to do. So first always use this command, that is listen 88, so it will listen all the requests for only 88 port. Now change the email address here, like I am adding mine, then host name. If you don't have host name, you can provide anything, but I am just putting the doc.routech.com, or you can say ems.routech.com. So because this server is attached with routech.com, so whenever I just call this ems.routech.com, it will accept that. Okay, now yeah, so static folder path. So we have already collected statics, right? So simple srv, inside the srv we clone the project ems, and then inside that static folder which we have created, just using that collect static command. Okay, third, media folders always created by Django project itself dynamically, so we don't need to do anything about that. We don't need to create manually or something else. Okay, so whenever you use like upload files, you are uploading files from the project or something, always uploaded files will goes inside the media folders. Okay, so like let's say for example you are using file field or maybe image field in models, then those files will be saved automatically inside the media folder. But in our project, as we haven't considered this media thing, we are going to cover that as well. So this is APIs, but instead of just put that EMS, so you can identify what are the logs which you need to see. Now project name, that is EMS, project name EMS, Python home. So what is Python home? This is just ambiguity. If you'll see Python home and Python path, you never understand, or maybe if you are doing this only once and just you will come to this script again after maybe 6 months, then again you will forget that. So what was the home and what was the path, because name itself is confusing. Python home and Python path, right? So it says actually both the things same. So Python home is actually the environment's home. So what is Python virtual environment home? venv, which we have created, right? So slash srv, and then inside that ems, and inside that we created venv. And what is Python path? So Python path, actually why this is called Python path, because this wsgi daemon process command is used for hosting Python application. It is not Django application, because Django itself is built on Python, right? So main thing is Python, not Django. Django is just a package which we are using, but actually this is created for only hosting Python application. So now you can see, if you will consider this Django application itself as a Python application, then you will understand better, like yes, that's the path I need to give. So what is that path? SRV and then EMS. Okay, now next, path of wsgi file. So where is the wsgi file? That is inside SRV, inside that EMS folder, that is project folder, and inside that EMS is our main application, and then wsgi.py. So you need to give this path of file, but here you need to give the path of where the Python file, that wsgi file is available. So that is this one. Okay, I'm just copied and pasted. Okay, so now all the configurations are we have changed here, whatever is required. Now I'm going to save this file, and this site is now added, but still that is not activated. So to activate this site, you need to use this a2 site command, which I just did, which I used for just earlier while I was starting. That's the different command, a2 this site. So that is just used for disabling the site, and this a2 site is used for enabling the site. So, and enabling site, the second the argument is that the configuration name. So you just, if you write em and just click on tab, it will accept automatically, and if it doesn't accept, don't worry, give the whole name, it will work. Okay, now I just use that command. It is saying that to activate the new configuration you need to run this reload. So I'm reloading that, but before reloading you need to check the permissions of all the files inside the project, because look at this, grep and then apache 2. So apache 2 itself is running as a www data user. So www data user has access of all the files which has ownership of www data user and group. So you need to change the ownership of all the files of the project to www data. So to do that, there is one simple command, that is -r for recursively, and then username and group name, both you need to give the same, and then just dot, because we are already inside the project, so it will change the ownership all the files inside the project. Okay, now Apache will have access to all the files of whatever it is required, like for executing or reading or write, right? So now let's reload now, service apache 2 and reload. Okay, now that is reloaded. Now just check the same thing, like, okay, now look at this, we are not running that server locally now, but still it should be running because we have set all things inside the Apache. Now let's refresh this page, or maybe we just copy it and just open new tab, so we can see the change or difference is coming. Yes, look at this, now it is working, right? Now this is just login page. Don't ever just stop looking at that. After login you need to see other pages as well, because sometimes few things are delivered, and that is maybe those are the only things required for login page, so that might work, but the detail pages or other pages are not working. So okay, so just go through all the pages which you have in your application once after hosting. Okay, so to log in, actually we don't have user available right now, so to do that we just going to create one super user, python mail.py create super user, admin patel@routag.com, password, super user created successfully. Now I'm going to use the same here and log in. So yes, I am able to log in here, right? So now you can see here application is running successfully. Now if I go to employee, if I go to polls, I can see all those things. Now there are few things you need to do, that is like roles should be available, few users already available when you are migrating, that is called fixture that you have to add by default. So whenever you install this application, whenever you migrate all the changes, also migrate the data, right? There are some data which are required initially when you are starting the application. So one role should be available for super admin. So super admin can add the employees here. He can assign a role he can assign the HR role to other users, and then we can take it forward, right? So that's one more thing we should learn, that is fixture. So maybe we can maybe I can create one more video for fixture as well. Okay, so that will be available in upcoming videos, so don't worry about that. So for this video actually that's it. Now you can see here application running. You can try in your Ubuntu system and just let me know if you have any problem in comment section. Thank you for watching.